Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Nicole Grimes, and this is From the City to the Mountains, where you are literally on a journey with our family, and we are building an off-grid cabin where we are going to be debt-free and utilities-free and living our dream in all the span of about 10 months so far. So if you want to know more about that, then kind of stay tuned. And if you are coming back to us and you've been paying attention and keeping an eye on what's been happening, welcome back and thank you. Let me just give a quick shout out to my VHP girls. I miss you guys so much. I hope that you and your family are doing well. And do me a favor, be sure to take a few minutes out for yourself and do something that makes you happy, because it's super important to do. So now that I've done that, I just need to give a shout out to y'all real quick. I miss you guys a lot. But I wanted to talk to you guys about today's project. So one of the things that Rick and I joke about a lot is how we've gone from plan A to plan F. And well, the shortest way to put that is when you are amateurs at building and you don't know what to expect and you are just going for something that you really want, don't know how you're going to get there 100%, like not everything's lined out, but you're just doing it, you run into some hiccups, you run into some things, and you got to be flexible and change your plan from time to time, or in our case, maybe like once every other day. So with that being said, if y'all are following and you've watched the last video, you would have known that we dug our septic hole. We went ahead and purchased gravel, put gravel at the bottom of the septic hole so that we can level it off. We used the excavator to lower the tank in there, and then once we did, we realized the hole was not deep enough. Ugh, all that work. And so we thought to ourselves, well, we'll just bury it. We'll just put more dirt on top. And realistically, after looking at that, once we woke up the next morning and came back up here, we're like, that's not gonna fly. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna pass code. So what do we do? So Rick thought, you know what? I'll just go over to the other side. We're originally gonna put the septic hole and we'll redig a new hole. So I said, okay, no problem. And that was plan G. Turns out plan G, you guys, was a bust, because it is no different than plan F as far as the hole being dug. And realistically, I'm 5'1". Our septic tank is literally my height, you guys. It's 5'1". He dug about 4 feet 9 inches, so he wasn't too far off in depth to just dig out a little bit more and start over and then put the septic tank back in. So we lost a day because we tried to do plan G and realized that plan G was stupid and we needed to just forego it and start back at F. And so that's what we did. So let me show you guys what we have done. I was in this hole. I could not get out. Rick had to help me out. So I know for sure that this hole is deep enough because I was in there and all I could see was ground. I had to look up to see the top. So I know that we're deep enough, and I'm not getting back in there. I'm gonna shovel out the gravel into the hole later. Rick's gonna level it while he's down there, but I'm not getting back in there because I couldn't get out and I was afraid. But let me show you guys what we've done. Switch this over the camera real quick. And let me show you. Coming around here is the hole. The hole is definitely deeper. Like I said, all I could see was earth when I was in there, and I can't get back out if I get back in, so I'm not gonna do it. But there were a ton of rocks down here at the bottom. All those rocks you see there were down here, and I actually went down there this morning. That's how I got stuck. Went down there this morning to get all the rocks out, and to make it to where we've got some kind of evenness going on a little bit. And then we'll get some more gravel today and throw it back in here. Once the gravel is in here, Rick will level it out with a rake. We'll make sure it's level with the levels. We've got like 4 different levels, you guys. It's crazy, but they all come in handy. And then we will use the excavator to re-lower the septic tank back in the hole. And then we should be good for now. This project won't be 100% done until we get a water truck up here, because we have to fill the tank halfway. It's a 1,000-gallon water tank, we need to get that halfway filled before we can backfill the tank and then cover it, because we don't want the tank to be crushed. On top of that, Rick still has to dig his pipe area where the pipe is going to go from where the house is to the septic tank. So let me just show you that. So all that big rock there, he dug out of the pier section, so he's gonna move all that once he's done digging. But let me give you guys a little background on what happened with the piers. So we originally rented a skid steer, which anytime you rent big equipment and you got to rent it for a week, it's costing you, you know, $1,400, $1,500, sometimes $2,000 for the week. So it's not a cheap thing. So you really got to take into account what type of machinery you need. As a newbie to all this, we didn't realize that excavators come in different sizes, and so do skid steers, so do bulldozers. So we've learned a lot for sure. I'm sure some of y'all are probably laughing at this, like you didn't know that. Truth is we're from the city, y'all. We didn't know any of this, and we're having to learn it, and it's all good. It's all good. It's fine. It's fine. But what I will say is that we rented the skid steer for a week, and the skid steer did wonders. We were able to open up the driveway part for us for our road, so we can park behind the house and pull in, and it's off the road from the house now, which is great. So it did that. It cleared out a lot of stuff, and it also got our leach field started, which is awesome because we needed to get that started, and I'll show you guys the leach field in a minute. But the piers, when we try to use the auger, turns out that the place that we rented from, they just don't have the right type of auger for the type of terrain that we live in, which I find kind of interesting because they're right here locally. So I don't understand why they didn't have it, but they didn't. The type of auger that they gave to us was more of you know, fresh soil, or dirt that doesn't have a whole lot of rock in it. Here we have sandstone, limestone, and then we have regular rock, and then we hit bedrock. So we have what you would call just plain old rock. And so when you dig, you can probably get between 5 to 8 inches of topsoil before you hit some form of rock. Typically it's sandstone. Well, the teeth on the auger were not strong enough because it did not have what they call carbide bit, which is teeth that can break through rock or sandstone. So the auger didn't do us a bit of good, which kind of stunk, because the augers were good because it gives you a perfect circle. So all you have to do is get the right size auger, which we did, and we could have dug the pier holes and then put the sono tubes in, had the layer of gravel underneath the sono tubes, put in the cement, and then put in the rebar, and we'd be set. And it'd be easy peasy, right? Well, not for us, because nothing we ever do is ever easy. So because that didn't work, we have to go to the more of the demolition look right now, which is using the excavator. So the cool thing about using the excavator is that instead of doing holes, we realized we should just draw lines. We have 5 rows in our piers, and there's 21 piers, and the pattern of the foundation is 5 3 5 3 5. So that's kind of how it goes. So there's 5 piers in a row, and then there's 3 piers in a row, and then there's 5, and there's 3, and then there's 5 at the end. And there's 5 rows of it. So that's how it goes. And so we found that we would measure out where the piers go, and he would just dig a straight 2-foot deep hole going straight back, and then we can basically put down the sono tubes exactly where we're going to have the piers, and then backfill, and then put gravel inside of that so it stays sturdy, and then we can add our cement in and then put the piers in. So a little extra work on our part, because we have to actually backfill a lot of this, because the holes are like 24-inch round holes that it should be, so 2 feet around and 2 feet deep. And yeah, there's a lot more than that going in here, so it'll be fun. But the cool thing is that we're getting this dug, so everything else doesn't require the big equipment. So that's the important part, and that's why I'm so excited about this. So we'll have those dug today, and then we'll use the excavator to get the septic tank in here. And then we have one more goal for the day for this, which is our leach field, which basically everything goes into the septic, and then kind of like a sewer system, the leach field is what that's for, and the water will come out and run into the dirt and all that jazz. So we have to, as you can see, part of it has some soil in it now, which there's still some things I got to clean out of it. Like I see branches and stuff I have to clean out of the actual soil, and then we got to go and clear out all of the other branches and rocks and stuff like that in the back. So we will. But the main thing we're going to do with the excavator today is move this rock out of the way, so it has to fill more dirt in over here on this side, and then we can focus on cleaning it out, getting the infiltrators in, and then burying everything. So yeah, there's still lots of work to be done before the cabin shows up. The crazy thing is we don't know when our cabin's showing up because it's been delayed. So we'll have to find out about that probably sometime this week. Due to COVID, we've had a lot of delays in materials, which I'm sure you guys are probably aware of. And so because of that, it's been really, really difficult to try to get stuff done. And we've been waiting on windows for our cabin since April, and we're in July. And our lease is up August 31st. So that cabin better be on its way so soon. It's not even funny, because we're going to be down to the wire, you guys, because we really can't afford to extend our lease any longer. It's a lot of money when you are trying to build everything without credit so that you don't owe anything at the end. And the solar system itself is costing us 10 grand. So we have to put that to the side. So that's not even money we can spend on this. So we are really finishing off the cabin with a very, 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 very tight budget. But it's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it through some stressful days. There's some good days. Today doesn't seem like it's gonna be a bad day. It seems like it's gonna be productive. So I will keep y'all posted and get back to you at the end of the day. Talk to you later.